Hey there, everybody. Well, it's starting to warm up a bit, and that's nice. It got right now it's 19 degrees outside, and the wind's howling, and yeah, but it's only up from here. And by Sunday, Christmas Day, it's supposed to be 40 something. So looking forward to that. Ian Worth made a video, follow up to his um, 40 megapixels versus 26 megapixels. You know, and a lot of his comments in that video, because he used Capture One, which was my suggestion, and he still says that that he doesn't see much of a difference. He thinks the X-T3 is sharper, 26 megapixels. Yeah, I mean, there was one image where he was like, "Oh, I think that the X-H2 was sharper," and you know, okay, I get that, but that's not what I'm seeing. Okay, so it was pretty clear right from the beginning when I started using the X-T5 and the X-H2 that yeah, things have improved. Okay, and for kicks and giggles, I went out and got this shot here, which you saw in another video. Sorry for the reflection. That's Canon Pro Luster paper, which I used to test stuff on. This is a 12 by 12. And you're not going to be able to see this in the video, but take my word for it. When I put on 3 times magnification, yeah, I'll get back to that. When I put on 3 times magnification glasses, like this is sharper than what I'm used to seeing out of the X-T3. So, you know, there's the proof right there in the print. And I'm seeing it on the screen. Now, I haven't A-B'd them, but I am familiar. This is a Capture One here. Let me move you over just a little bit. So that's Capture One here. And this is straight out of camera JPEG. And all I did was move the sliders on the levels over to get the full width of the image, right? So, I'm seeing that my images I was for years I've been looking for that nth degree out of my Fujis, out of my 26 megapixel sensors, and the 24 megapixel sensor like in the XE3 and the 26 megapixel, you know, like okay, there's no difference there, all right, like there's no real advantage one over the other, right? 26 is nice, but the 24 was fine, about the same. So, but bumping up to the 40, like I'll put it to you this way, I don't want to shoot stills with a 26 megapixel Fuji anymore, unless it's like landscapes, like when I'm going to know that I might blow them up or need them 30 by 40. Like I want the 40 megapixels, it's sharper. The thing is about the 40 megapixels is like all things being equal, like it's only as strong as the weakest link of the chain. And that could be the lenses, it could be a little bit of camera shake, whatever. And I know Ian knows what he's doing, and I know he went through all the trouble to make sure it was right. I still don't know what the problem is. There is one thing that I don't think he is factoring in because I haven't heard him mention it, and that's that the 40 megapixel sensor images are larger to begin with in terms of magnification. Like 100, when you have like this cup in 100% magnification, it's this big, you know, on a 40 megapixel sensor, and on a 26 megapixel sensor, it would be smaller at 100 magnification, 100% magnification. So the point is that you have to enlarge it less. Like that's the trick to medium format and large format, right? Film. You don't have to enlarge it as much. So, okay. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Now, I guess what I'm trying to say is like he's seeing it on the screen when he blows, and he's saying, don't go to 100%. Well, I can go to 100% all day long, and it looks great. So I'm not really sure I'm not sure what the issue is, but I think Ian needs to keep working on it because something he's doing isn't right. And I'm not sure what that is because, the results I'm getting are not matching the results he's getting. I mean, at 100%, my images look great. So, yeah. And at 100%, my 40 megapixel images look better than my 26 megapixel images. So having said all that, I mean, it really shouldn't be an argument at this point. Again, I'm not sure what Ian's doing. The sad part is that a lot of people are coming away going, I don't need that X-T5. I'm going to stick with my X-T3. Thanks, Ian. You've proven something, and I'm not sure what that is. And I'm not putting Ian down. I'm just saying that I don't think I'd be basing my camera buying decisions on his few tests. So because, and particularly because my experience has been completely the opposite of what he's getting. So, I mean, my X-T5 and my X-H2 completely trump my X-T3 in terms of that nth degree of image quality, which is what I've been looking for. So, yeah, and it's not just that. You know, people say when you crop, and a lot of people get in their mind like that means like there's a little tiny bird in my image and I'm going to crop down to blow up that bird. And that is true. 40 megapixels is better. However, that's not how I work. I try to fill the frame with my image and I rarely crop for composition, okay? What I find really useful on the X-T5 and X-H2 are the aspect ratios. So I'll shoot in square a lot, where my JPEGs are coming out square right from the beginning, and I'm seeing square on the back of the camera. And that helps me with composition. Now, the trick there is that, and I forget what it is, but I think it's like 27 megapixels. So when I put the X-H2 or X-T5 in the 1:1 crop mode, I'm down to 27 megapixels, which is great, okay? I didn't lose anything. I can shoot the X-T5 and the X-H2 in square and have 1 more megapixel than I can shooting the X-T3 in 2:3 ratio, okay? That's huge. Like that really helps, because the X-T3, when you put it in square mode, 1:1 aspect ratio, it crops down to like, I think 16 or 17 megapixels. So yeah, so for me, that's the real advantage of the 40 megapixels. Plus you get the, you know, the 4:5 crop and the 3:4 crop, and it, you know, all of those are, I think the 4:5 crop is like 33 megapixels, which is awesome. Like that makes those aspect ratios totally viable. So yeah, just wanted to address that. You know, I wouldn't personally buy a X-T5 or X-H2 for the 40 megapixels, okay? Maybe I'll put that another way. I did personally buy the X-H2 and the X-T5 for the 40 megapixels, but I knew specifically, I had a really good idea of, you know, what that improvement was going to be, and I knew that I would really enjoy that and wanted that. And I'll almost say needed that for the work that I do, and I wanted that for that nth degree that I was always bothering me with the 26 megapixel. I always thought like, oh, this could be just a little bit sharper. I wish it was a little bit sharper. I think it was more in my head than anything else, but now like all those fears are assuaged. So for me, I specifically knew what the 40 megapixels were going to give me, which was that nth degree of image sharpness, assuming that I did everything on my end correctly, okay? I had no illusions that it was going to be so much better, right? So yeah, there is that. But that's not the real reason for most people to upgrade to the X-T5 or X-H2. The real reasons, as I said in my last video, are the W235 improved battery. That's like huge. The AF is so much better now. The video is so much better now. It just works. And yeah, and so those are the things, right? And the speed of the processor, it's a much more zippier camera. So both of them, the X-T5, X-H2, X-H2S, but that's a 26 megapixel camera, and so it doesn't really fit in this discussion for what we're talking about. So, all right, so there it is. Happy holidays. Have a great one. Enjoy. And, you know, if you don't know what the 40 megapixels is going to do for you, you don't need to upgrade, except that if you want better AF, a much faster processor, and a much better battery, like, oh, heck yeah, get the X-T5. All right. There's no reason to have an X-T3 with the X-T5 out. And I mean, seriously. But now on the other hand, you know, if you're happy with the smaller battery and the autofocus is working for you, and you think that the processor is just fine in your X-T3, rock on, right? That's great. Okay. But on the other hand, like, yeah, the 40 megapixels is better. And so yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what Ian's doing, but yeah, he's not getting the same results I'm getting. So take that for what it's worth. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Have a wonderful and safe holiday. And we'll see you out there when the conditions improve. Bye.